show you the cards so you can see. Okay, so starting off, we have death in reverse. And so this is showing definitely a resistance to change or a lack of change. It's funny because this is a Scorpio card. So this is almost as if you're not going with the natural flow of things. There is a lack of change or transformation that is happening. So let's continue. And this is also showing a lack of action or lack of initiating things into action. It's definitely feeling like there is a resistance to necessary change that needs to take place for some of you. And then we see almost again like a lack of expression and a lack of communication. Almost like not wanting to be involved or not wanting to deal with some sort of conflict. So this feels a lot like there are some of you backing out from some situations that need to be resolved. There's this lack of change or action, of expression, of communication that is taking place. And so with this, there is a lot of pain or a lot of weight that's being carried. For some of you, you see how there are swords literally stabbing this person in the back. So this is like a lot of you you're sort of stabbing yourselves in the back with this. A lot of you are, again, sort of not getting involved or not necessarily going through the changes that need to take place. And so this is where the completion or the ending of a cycle needs to take place. And a lot of this is dealing with your thought process or how you are expressing yourself through communication. So there's a lack of this expression that's happening. Now, once this completion or this ending takes place for a lot of you, this actually gives you the space and the clarity to sort of navigate and find that balance as far as where you're going and how you're going to put things together in your life. So this does give you a new sense of direction as you are creating this ending by resolving this conflict or this situation that some of you are backed out from. And we see again with this sort of communication or expression that is going to help you find that clarity or bring that sense of clarity throughout the fog or the confusion or the conflict that is taking place. So for a lot of you, when you are addressing these issues or these conflicts, this will help you find this sense of clarity or direction. And we have the Four of Wands in reverse. And so this is where a lot of you are not necessarily getting everything out of the experience that you want to. This is sort of a place of nourishment and comfort and safety in this area that is sort of not being fulfilled. For some of you, there is sort of this lack of completion or this lack of fulfillment. And again, for those of you dealing with this conflict or this issue that needs to be resolved, this is where you're not getting the resolution to this conflict. And so, yes, some physical action does have to take place. Do need to start to physically be involved in this conflict or this situation, and definitely to find a new system or a new structure that is better beneficial to you. So for those of you, again, dealing with a conflict or a situation that you are not wanting to be involved in, this is where once you do find that completion or that resolution, you are able then to build a new system or foundation that better serves you. And again, this is also showing this resistance to change, dealing especially with, again, communication and your thought process. So for some of you, again, it feels a lot like a conflict, a social conflict for a lot of you. Feels like dealing with another person and not wanting to be involved in this conflict. So again, this is dealing with the communication and the thought process. Again, this is coming up with avoiding this change or this ending or this transformation that needs to take place. And so for some of you, this is dealing with relationships. This is dealing with needing to sort of draw the line and find that closure or that resolution, and actually taking action and taking the steps to, again, express and communicate what is going on, for those of you who are backing out of this situation. And we have the Fool card here. So again, this is where you kind of have to just take that leap of faith and go into the action. A lot of you, if you were feeling worried or if you were in a heavier emotional place, this is where you're kind of at this crossroads and you kind of have to just jump into this situation so that you can come to that closure instead of holding on to this old baggage that doesn't serve you. And again, Earth is here, like you're stuck in this place. And we have quite a few cards in reverse. Again, stuck in this emotional place, this emotional space, carrying these things that don't serve you. So, and Cancer also dealing with this nourishment, this completion. Again, as we go back to the Four of Wands, this is the same type of energy of this feeling of this closure, this completion, this nourishment, making sure that you have all the resources, everything that you need. So a lot of you are holding on to things that don't serve you, where you can make room or space for things that do serve you. So this is for those of you who are still holding on to this old situation, but not wanting to face it or not wanting to be involved in this conflict. And then we see this Scorpio energy reversed again. So first time we saw it with the Death card in reverse. Now we're seeing Scorpio in reverse. And so this again is sort of backing out from that change or transformation that needs to take place. So for those of you who are not wanting to be involved, this is where this transformation has to take place. And again, as I was saying before, this does sort of deal with your thought process or with communication. We're seeing that with Mercury reversed. Some of you are not expressing or not communicating in order to come to this ending or this closure that needs to take place. And then Pluto's here as well. So again, going back on that transformation or that change that needs to take place. And with Pluto here, yes, this is sort of an area that we tend not to want to face, sort of a darker, a more emotional place. So yes, this is difficult for some of you. This is a difficult situation that you're going to have to face, but this is where the change or the transformation has to take place. And this is where a lot of you get that power or that clarity or that sense of direction out of this closure. Then the Jack of Hearts. So again, this is emotional, and this is needing to move forward out of this space and again find that place where you are filling yourself, where you're completing yourself. For some of you, if you're dealing with relationships, this is coming through to me as an area where you sort of need to find this space where you are completing or filling yourself. So if you are needing to end a relationship, a lot of this is due to having to come into that space of you feeling like you don't necessarily need a partner to complete you. This is about filling yourself. And then with the Eight of Hearts, it's very, very Scorpio-like energy we're seeing with this movement or this transformation that has to take place emotionally. So this is, again, this state for some of you where you have to go through this deep change, where you have to face this situation, come to that sense of closure so that you can come out of it and find that sense of clarity or direction. So this is sort of like the phoenix. If you think about Scorpio has many symbols. The phoenix is one of them. So this is where you sort of go through this death and then you come out of it with this sense of power or clarity for a lot of you. And with the Ace of Diamonds, again, this is leading you to this fresh new start where you have this sense of structure or stability in your life. And this is something that you will find in yourself. And then we end with the Two of Diamonds and the Two of Clubs. And so this is finding balance, finding that sense of direction. Again, that place of positivity and harmony in your life. And this comes through this physical change and this action that needs to take place to face this situation that you are in, again, so you can go through this transformation. So that is your September 2019 horoscope. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to leave a like. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new content. And I hope you all have a great day.